out-of-town bargains, New York Comic Con leftovers, and a palooza of the retro persuasion. What's up guys, it's Brad, and I just wanted to show you a few of the things that I picked up on my recent trip to Arlington, Texas, where I attended Retropalooza 5. Retropalooza is a convention that focuses on retro gaming, and they also have new and used toys, and I was able to pick up a few items while I was at the convention, and I just wanted to share with you guys my haul. Before I get into my Retropalooza haul, let me just show you some of the items that I picked up at some of the other stores in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I found this Multiverse Lex Luthor figure at a DD's store, which is basically the same thing as Ross, and it only cost $3.99, which is a great deal on this. I don't even care about the figure, I just wanted this Build-A-Figure piece so I can finish my Doomsday bath. Now all I need is the Superman Doomed figure, so if you're watching this and you have that piece, hook a brother up. Also, I went to a half-price bookstore and found this Vinyl Idol Stan Lee figure for only $5.99, and that's a great deal because normally these retail for about 20 bucks. While I was in the Dallas area, I also went to a movie trading company, and they sell DVDs and movies, but they also sell toys, so I was able to snag this Spider-Man Dorbs figure for only $3.99, as well as this Darth Vader Mighty Mugs figure, and he only cost $7.99, which that was an awesome deal on that. I also went to a Hot Topic and got a couple of clearance items. I was able to pick up this Green Lantern Dorbs figure, and I was able to get this awesome Incredibles hat, and it was marked at $11.99, but the clearance items were buy one get one for $1, and on top of that I had a $5 coupon, so I ended up getting both of these items for about $8 total, so that was a great bargain. Looking good. But getting back to Retropalooza, Retropalooza focuses mostly on retro gaming as well as toys. Another great thing about Retropalooza is that they have a host of YouTube creators that they have as guests, and I got to meet some really cool people while I was there. Speaking of cool people, I got to meet Pixel Dan. If you're a toy collector and you're on YouTube, I'm sure you're familiar with his content. He is a fantastic YouTube creator, and he puts out great content for toy collectors. He was giving away these stickers here, and also I picked up a lapel pin that he was selling. I have a small lapel pin collection, but mainly I just got this because I wanted to support the guy because I really appreciate his content, and I think he's a really nice guy. Another great YouTuber that I got to meet at Retropalooza was OK Chief, and he is a toy collector and just a straight up bargain hunter. He goes to tons and tons of garage sales and flea markets, and he's always finding really great items for super cheap prices. And he also had a table at the convention and was selling things, so I got to meet him and talk to him and buy a few items from him, such as this vintage bendable Snoopy figure, as well as this bendable figure of the Noid character. He was the mascot for Domino's Pizza back in the 80s. I also have a small amiibo collection, and I was able to pick up this Warp amiibo pipe stand so I can use it to display some of my amiibos on. And finally, I was able to pick up this cool Hot Wheels Knight Rider car figure. If you're not familiar with Car, he was basically the evil version of Kit on the old TV show Knight Rider. And I have the regular Kit car, so I was super happy to pick this guy up. I got this and all the other items I just showed you for $2 each, so that was a great bargain. So thanks a lot, OK Chief, for the great deals, and hopefully I'll see you next year at the next Retropalooza. And be sure to check out the description below. I'm going to include links to all of the YouTubers that I mentioned here in the video. Another awesome item that I picked up from OK Chief's booth was this vintage tape take-along carrying case, and it's really cool. It's full of the old book and tape children's books, and I used to have a lot of these as a kid growing up in the 80s. Essentially, the old book and record and book and tapes would come with a children's book for you to read along while you listen to the story on the tape or the record. And this tape take-along is, like I said, a carrying case that you can keep all of your tapes and books in, and you can see it's kind of in rough shape, but it opens up, and on one side it has a storage compartment for all of the children's books, and on the other side it has a storage compartment for the tapes. And I guess the idea is that you could use this case to take on a long trip or a vacation, or maybe a trip to grandma's house or something like that, so you could entertain yourself while you're away from your home. This was back in the day before the internet and iPhones and everything else that kids entertain themselves with these days. In the old days, if you were going to go to grandma's house, you had to think ahead and bring entertainment with you, or you'd end up being stuck watching Murder, She Wrote reruns. I just wanted to make a quick plug here. If you're on Facebook, be sure to check out the Syndicate Family Facebook page. It's an awesome toy hunting community where like-minded toy collectors can come together and share hauls and discuss various topics. I've been a part of this community for almost a year now, and it's really fantastic. I've met some really great people, and one of those cool people is a YouTuber by the name of Craig Roberts, and his YouTube channel is Not Another Retro Channel, or NARC. And he just happened to have a table set up at Retropalooza, and he was selling items, and he was nice enough to hook me up with some really cool items for some great prices, such as this really cool Shaggy Dorbs figurine. So far I only have Daphne and Shaggy, so I need to get Velma, and I'm trying to get a hold of Fred driving the Mystery Machine so I can complete my Scooby-Doo Dorbs collection. Craig was also selling some New York Comic Con exclusive pops, and I was able to pick those up from him. I got the 8-bit Dig Dug figure, as well as the 8-bit Batman, and he hooked me up with this flocked Beastman pop. This was the pop that I wanted the most from New York Comic Con, and when I went to my local Toys R Us to buy one, every one of the boxes were completely crushed. But thankfully Craig was able to hook me up with a nice, clean, fresh, minty one, so I can add that to my collection. And again, thanks Craig for the awesome deal on all these pops. He basically sold them to me at retail, so I thought that was a great gesture on his part, and it's something that I really appreciate as a collector. Again, Craig is a fellow Syndicate member, and if you haven't joined the Syndicate family on Facebook and you're a toy collector, it's a great place to meet really nice fellow toy collectors like Craig himself. So I highly recommend it. I was also very happy to pick up this hardback Playing with Power book, which is basically a retrospective on the old Nintendo Entertainment System, and it showcases a lot of the old kind of standout games from the NES system. As you can see, the book comes in a very nice slipcase, and the book slides out, and I'll just flip through and show you some of the pages here. Luckily, I was able to pick this up for only $15, because this normally retails for about $40. Also, I'm a big Hanna-Barbera fan, and I'm a big Space Ghost fan, so I was able to find this Space Ghost Coast to Coast Brack figure. I was able to grab this one for 25 bucks. It was a little more than I wanted to pay. I wanted to get it for 20, but the guy, he wouldn't budge past 25. It's still a good deal because this goes for about $40 online, so I was happy to add this one to my collection. And finally, here's the last item that I picked up. I'm a huge fan of the Tick, and I was lucky enough to pick up this 16-inch talking Tick figure. I was super excited to find this figure, but I was even more excited to get this for only $10. The guy that was selling it to me was like, I want to give somebody a bargain today, and I was like, sold. So that's my Retropalooza haul, guys. Retropalooza is an annual event. Like I said, this is the 5th one that they've had so far, and I completely recommend it. If you're in or near the Dallas-Fort Worth area, it's totally worth the trip to Arlington to check it out, especially if you're into retro gaming or if you're a toy collector like myself. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.